Hello again. Today, going to be going over the who controls the parties meme, presumably showing the top Dem donors and top Republican donors all being Jews. For this one, I would suggest people just go to the website opensecrets.org. It shows like pretty clearly the top individual donors, the top PAC donors, like top donors in terms of like hard money, soft money, etc. I believe this meme is from 2016 and is trying to reflect the soft money donors, which I'm not totally sure what the difference is, but I'm pretty sure it just means that soft money is like the overall kind of contributions to like the Democrat side or the Republican side and not necessarily to a specific candidate for that specific run, I guess. I'm not totally sure, but whatever. There's just like multiple ways to look at how you donate. So for the Dem side, they got it like mainly right. Tom Steyer, Sussman, all those dudes, except I will say for Jeffrey Katzenberg, I guess it really should be Henry Laufer, but it doesn't really matter because that guy's a Jew too, so basically got 9 out of 10 right. I will say that the Steven Spielberg thing is like totally wrong. Like that's like kind of funny actually. I mean, he probably did donate money to the Dem side, but certainly not as much as these guys. And I will say that Fred Eichner should be on that list too. He was number 3, and he's a Gentile, but I mean, still like 9 out of 10 top Dems donors were Jews. Like that's obviously like pretty wild. When it comes to the top 10 for the GOP, though, they did get that pretty wrong. Sheldon Adelson and Singer were the top 2 for sure, but the rest are basically like all false. All the other people were Gentiles until you get to number 10, Bernard Marcus. So, I mean, definitely disproportionate, like among both, and like dominating on the Democrat side. And that makes some sense because Jews vote more Democrat. But at the end of the day, like Sheldon Adelson, like outspent like everyone, and Trump ended up winning anyway. So it kind of just goes to show like how powerful is Jewish money really if like all the top 10 almost of the donors are Jews and like they're a bunch of rich billionaires, but I mean they can't get Hillary to win. You know, I mean, still, like, it's disproportionate, dominating on the Dem side. Like, they're right in that aspect. I will say they're pretty wrong on the Republican side. But also, there's this kind of view that, like, oh, it's this controlled op because there's Jews on different sides. I don't really understand that too much because, A, a lot of the right-wingers supported Trump because he at least, like, said he would build a wall and deport people and whatnot. And certainly, like, the white nationalists, like, if they were going to support anyone, they would support Trump. So there's the fact that, like, he had some Jewish donors, and, like, I know his, like, daughter married a Jew, like, Kushner and shit, but, like, I don't really get it. Because when Jews, like, attack Trump, whatever, when Jews are, like, anti-Trump, they say, like, oh, like, Trump is supporting white interests, and, like, the Jews want to, like, get rid of him. And then when Jews do support Trump, it's like, oh, Trump is, like, a Jewish shill, Zionist puppet. So I just don't really see the consistency there. And honestly, like, Trump, he, you know, moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He was generally pro-Israel, but I don't think that was like, you know, the main themes of his presidency or anything. I mean, I do think his presidency ended up being kind of, he didn't get a lot done. The big things he wanted to do and like the big things he talked about, they didn't seem to have any Jewish connotations. Like, I don't see how a border wall, I mean, I understand a lot of right-wingers think Jews want mass immigration, whatever. I have a video on that. But I just think it's like definitely something interesting to point out and like definitely really accurate on the Democrat side, not as much on the Republican. And if you look at other years and like other ways, like in the hard money realm, you do get like kind of a different picture, especially for hard money in terms of 2016 and 2020, especially about half the Dems were Jews, the top 10, and like 3 out of 10 of the Republicans. But if you go to soft money 2020, it shows different things. But I mean, I think it's kind of to be expected. I mean, there are a lot of rich Jews, no one denies that. And I do think different donors have like different like viewpoints, obviously. Like, I just don't agree with the mentality that Jews like all like have the same mentality. But, you know, they would say it's all in like a controlled opposition. Like, you know, there are quote unquote right-wing Jews, quote unquote left-wing Jews, but it's all within like the Judeo matrix of like what's acceptable. I don't really buy that. I think it's like stupid, but it's not nothing. I think it could be pointed out. Some are like pro-Israel, like Chaim Sabin. George Soros, like people think he's like this really pro-Israel guy, but he's like actually not. If anything, he's like more on the anti-Israel side. Like certainly not like a big nationalist type figure. So yeah, it's just interesting to look at. I'll like provide some counter memes to this, but you know, overall, like I don't know why they even included the Republicans. They should have just gone with the Democrat side. That would have been way better. Like I probably wouldn't have even responded to the Democrat one because if they hadn't included the Republican side, because that's like mainly accurate. So anyway, until next time.